story of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler is one of the most well-known and controversial figures in world history. He led Germany during a dark time in the 20th century and caused events that changed the world forever. His story is a mix of power, war, and destruction, but it also shows how dangerous hate and control can be. Let's look at his life, how he gained power, and the tragic impact of his actions. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in a small town called Braunau am Inn, which is now part of Austria. His father, Alois Hitler, worked as a customs officer, and his mother, Clara, was very caring and loving. Adolf was the fourth of 6 children, but most of his siblings died when they were very young. As a child, Adolf liked drawing and wanted to become an artist. However, he did not do well in school. His father wanted him to work for the government, but Adolf did not agree. When his father died in 1903, and later his mother in 1907, Adolf was left alone at a young age. He moved to Vienna, the capital of Austria, to try and study art. But the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna rejected him twice. These failures made him frustrated. During this time, Adolf struggled with poverty. He worked small jobs and lived in shelters. In 1914, World War I began. Hitler saw this as a chance to do something meaningful. He joined the German army, even though he was Austrian. As a soldier, he fought bravely and was even awarded 2 medals for his service. However, Germany lost the war in 1918, and this deeply affected Hitler. Like many Germans, he felt angry and blamed others for the defeat. He believed that Germany had been betrayed by certain groups, including Jewish people and communists. This belief became the foundation of his future ideas. After the war, Hitler returned to Germany. In 1919, he joined a small political group called the German Workers' Party. Hitler quickly became its leader. He changed the group's name to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, also known as the Nazi Party. Hitler was a powerful speaker. He could inspire large crowds with his speeches. He promised to rebuild Germany, create jobs, and make the country strong again. Many Germans were unhappy after the war. The economy was weak, people were poor, and they were angry about the Treaty of Versailles, which punished Germany for World War I. Hitler used this anger to gain support. In 1923, Hitler tried to take control of Germany by force in an event called the Beer Hall Putsch. However, he failed and was sent to prison. During his time in jail, Hitler wrote a book called Mein Kampf, My Struggle. In this book, he explained his ideas about Germany, race, and his hatred for Jewish people. After his release from prison, Hitler worked to grow the Nazi Party. By the early 1930s, it had become one of the most powerful political groups in Germany. In 1933, Hitler was appointed as Chancellor of Germany. Once in power, Hitler began to change the country completely. He banned other political parties and became a dictator. He used propaganda to control the media and spread his ideas. Hitler also created secret police, called the Gestapo, to silence anyone who opposed him. In 1939, Hitler's actions started World War II. He had already taken control of Austria and parts of Czechoslovakia, but he wanted more land. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. This caused Britain and France to declare war on Germany. During the war, Hitler's army, called the Wehrmacht, was very powerful. Germany quickly took over many countries in Europe. Hitler also formed alliances with Italy and Japan, creating the Axis powers. However, Hitler's most terrible actions happened during the war. He began what is now called the Holocaust. Hitler and the Nazis wanted to create a pure German race. They targeted Jewish people, as well as others like Roma people, disabled individuals, and political opponents. Over 6 million Jewish people were killed in concentration camps. This was one of the darkest chapters in human history. As the war continued, things began to go wrong for Hitler. In 1941, he invaded the Soviet Union, but this decision backfired. The Soviet army pushed back, and Germany started losing battles. In 1944, the Allied forces, including the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, began to attack Germany from all sides. By 1945, it was clear that Germany would lose the war. On April 30, 1945, with Berlin surrounded by Soviet troops, Hitler took his own life in his underground bunker. His death marked the end of Nazi Germany. Adolf Hitler's leadership caused millions of deaths and widespread destruction. World War II killed over 70 million people, making it the deadliest conflict in history. Entire cities were destroyed and families were torn apart. Hitler's story is a reminder of how dangerous hatred and power can be. His actions left a scar on the world that will never be forgotten. Today, people study Hitler's life to understand how such events happened and to prevent them from happening again. His story shows the importance of standing up against hate and protecting freedom and equality for everyone.